Good day, everyone. This is Vicky. Welcome to my video. Extinction is the rule. Survival is the exception. Carl Sagan. To begin this project, I will first need to make some embeds. These ammonite embeds will be used on the surface of the soap. Therefore, they're called the focal design element. These are the embeds that will be used inside of the soap. Their spiral shape echoes the ammonites that will be used on the outside of the soap. These are the same spirals that have been textured and accented with gold mica. These were just an experiment. I've rolled cold processed soap clay into snake shapes. 2 gold, 1 white, 1 black. The soap clay was twisted and rolled into a marbled snake shape. A silicone mold will be used to make the ammonites. Cornstarch is used as a release. I'm using a cheese liar to cut off a piece of the marbled snake shape. I will next be rolling it thinner before coiling the piece of soap clay. Rolling the clay back onto itself is the classic Egyptian coil technique. The coil is placed into the mold and pushed into place. Let me demonstrate the process again. And it's just that easy. The soap clay is a bit higher than the surface of the mold, therefore it needs to be removed. A cheese liar is an excellent tool for leveling off the clay. To remove the castings, the silicone mold is pulled away from the clay. The alcohol will remove the cornstarch, allowing you to better see the pattern of the clay. It will also help the mica stick to the clay. This is the gold mica that I'll be using to accent the raised areas on the ammonite shells. Next, I'll make the spirals for inside of the soap. I'll be using the same colors of black, gold, and white. Small discs will be cut out of the sheet clay using the plunger cutter. Once again, cornstarch is used as the release. The clay discs are stacked into a column. The column of soap clay discs is compressed and rolled thinner. The extruder is stainless steel. The column of soap clay is placed into the extruder. Any excess is removed. The soap clay will be pushed through the round extruder disc. The extruded soap clay rope will be rolled back on itself to create another Egyptian coil. The inside of these coils will have a spiral design. I will use a cheese lier to slice one open. Each coil will have a different spiral design on the inside. This piece of sheet clay represents water. It was made with 3 colors of blue. Alcohol is sprayed on the sheet clay and also on the mat to prevent sticking. The texture mat is pushed into the sheet clay. A hard, flat object is pushed on top of the sheet clay to make sure that it's level. The texture repeats the coil shape of the ammonites. A cookie cutter with a round edge will cut out the background for the ammonites. Alcohol is sprayed on the soap clay and on the cookie cutter to prevent sticking. The cookie cutter is pressed into the background. The excess soap clay is removed and will be used for another background. Gold mica was originally used to accent the ammonites. I decided to change the design of the ammonites. They have been gold-leafed. The gold leaf is a faux gold leaf. I only metal leaf soap and soap clay that has been cured. This is a very thin piece of soap clay, probably about 3 millimeters. The ammonites will be backed with the soap clay. The ammonites are scored with the needle tool. Soap glue is applied to the back of each ammonite. The ammonite is pressed into the thin piece of soap clay. A needle tool will cut the ammonites free from the background. The ammonites are once again scored before applying the soap glue. The ammonites are pushed into place on the background. The squeeze-out clay around the ammonite is cleaned up with a silicone shaper. This is faux gold leaf. Small pieces of gold leaf are placed randomly on the extruded soap clay. I want an organic look. I do not want a perfect look. I'm getting an idea of the length I need for the tentacle. The tentacle is rolled thinner to create more cracks in the gold leaf. I'm also rounding the tip and making the tip more pointed. The tentacle is cut in half with a tissue blade. And of course, soap glue is applied to the back of the tentacle before placing it on the background. The same process is repeated until I have placed all the tentacles. And finally, sugar pearls will be used for the eyes. To remove the embed from the cookie cutter, I just press down on the ammonite shells. Voila! Just some of the focal design embeds for the soap. The inspiration for this soap comes from the work of polymer clay artist Christy Friesen. Thank you very much, Christy. The coil embeds have been placed in the bottom of the mold. This is an in-the-pot clean pour. The embeds are placed on top of the poured soap. I'm creating the impression of fossils in a rock. The second in-the-pot clean pour, the colors mix as they are poured. The blue represents water. I'm using a skewer to swirl the blues and to create the feeling of movement in the water. Alcohol is sprayed on top of the soap to prevent ash. The soap needs to firm up a bit before I add the focal design embeds. In case you were wondering, ammonites were shelled cephalopods that became extinct about 66 million years ago. And to finish, these are just some of the embeds that were required to make this design. I thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful day.